Aljamain Sterling completely went in on Dana White and the UFC after they decided to hand Diego Lopes a rematch against Volkanovski, skipping right over him and other legitimate contenders. According to Aljo, the reason the UFC ever became the top promotion in the world was simple: the best always fought the best. But now, he feels like that's disappearing, replaced by a popularity contest instead of real merit. Sterling is coming off a dominant win over Brian Ortega, but he made it clear this isn't just about him. In his eyes, the matchup itself doesn't make sense. There are several fighters who have been putting in the work for years, while Diego seems to be getting pushed forward more based on hype than actual accomplishments. Lopes, however, didn't stay quiet. He clapped back on social media, saying that the reason these guys aren't getting title shots is because they sit around online complaining instead of stepping up. He pointed out how active he's been and how willing he is to take risks. He even compared that to Movsar Evloev's long absence and Lerone Murphy's slower pace. In his mind, momentum and willingness to fight actually matter, and right now he believes he has both. The funniest part? Just a few months ago, back in September, Diego himself was saying that Murphy deserved the next shot at Volkanovski. Now it's Diego in that position, and the entire division is at war over it.
Get what they're trying to do. They're trying to get us a champion that could represent Mexico and pretty much Brazil too. It's just, what is the criteria? That is all I want to know. I just want something that when we come into this sport, because I'm now 36, I got into this sport when I was 24, and merit used to mean something for the most part. The UFC used to be the organization, the best fights the best. Now it's, are you the most popular guy? Because if you're the most popular guy and you can fight just a little bit, we'll throw you in there. As long as you can fight a little bit and beat some of the best guys or beat some favorable matchups that people might know, but it's enough for you to get a highlight win, we'll put you in that spot. And hopefully, if you're lucky, we cash out. I mean, I get the business model of it, but as the athlete, guys, I get the business model of it. If it was a close fight, I can get it. But for the most part, it was pretty much a masterclass on one side.
Reporter Mike Bone recently appeared on Josh Thompson's podcast and shared some intriguing information he's hearing about the rumored UFC White House card. According to Bone, the UFC may go with a very small, ultra-premium lineup, possibly only 5 fights. The goal is to make every single bout feel massive with zero filler. He even mentioned Ilia Topuria as a potential option, since El Matador is apparently aiming for a return around mid-2026. Nothing is confirmed yet, but his name is definitely in the mix. Meanwhile, the lightweight division is on fire this week. Just hours after Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett were officially booked for the interim title, Justin reacted on Instagram and looked completely locked in. Despite fans flooding the internet saying Paddy doesn't deserve this opportunity, Gaethje called him the perfect dance partner. Justin said that with the timing, the spotlight, and the launch of the new UFC on Paramount era, this is the exact kind of fight where he can remind the world why he's one of the most violent and exciting fighters of this generation. Nobody is denying that this fight will be an absolute banger and a must-watch main event, but fans are still frustrated that merit seems to be taking a back seat, especially with Arman Tsarukyan possibly sitting out an entire year without getting a title shot.
We're going to try to do Conor versus Michael Chandler as the main event. If for some reason Conor is unavailable or unreliable or whatever, I could see a scenario where they pick up the phone and call John Jones and say, hey buddy, come through. But the one thing I did hear, not reporting as fact or anything, I heard there might only be 6 fights on this White House card. So if that's the case, then there's certainly going to be, a very limited level of entry there. But yeah, I could see them doing Conor and maybe like a Kayla Harrison title fight or something like that. I don't think it's going to be Conor, John Jones, Ilia versus Islam, Kayla Harrison, like 4 title fights, all this stuff. I think if you can get Conor there in the cage versus Chandler, a few other high profile fights, I think you say we've done our job here.
Yep. No, I said what it is. It's going to be ROI. What's my return on investment? Conor's going to sell all the same seats and tickets that John Jones would sell or anybody else. Yeah. I also think that you have to have Kayla Harrison on this card.
Dana White is reportedly doing everything possible to bring Khabib Nurmagomedov out of retirement. The money being discussed for this is completely outrageous. Multiple Russian sources are claiming that Saudi businessmen are willing to back the UFC and finance Khabib's return for one single fight at the White House, and the number floating around is a jaw-dropping $100 million. That would make it the biggest payday any fighter has ever seen in UFC history. Even crazier, former President Donald Trump is also said to be completely on board with the idea. He reportedly sees Khabib as one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time, even years after his retirement. Adding Khabib to a White House card would instantly turn it into a historic spectacle. Reports suggest that Dana has now also pulled in Saudi connections, though there's no confirmation yet on whether his new partner, Turki Al-Alshik, is involved in this specific deal.
Хаба получает щедрые, я даже скажу, очень и очень щедрые предложения от арабских шейхов, которые готовы напечатать хоть миллиарды долларов, лишь бы вернуть Хабиба в октагон. Некоторые фанаты Хабиба не приняли еще такую реальность, что они не увидят орла снова в бою. Они готовы платить баснословные деньги, и поверьте, Дейна Уайт только на их стороне. Готовы заплатить Хабибу $100 миллионов за его возвращение, чтобы увидеть противостояние Хабиба с новым чемпионом. Дональд Трамп высказался про Кhabиба Нурмагомедова и признал нашего Хабиба лучшим бойцом во всем мире. Все дело в том, что недавно состоялась встреча Дана Уайта и Дональда Трампа. И вот Дональд Трамп заявил: будет невероятный бой. Мы все будем обязательно это смотреть. Самого лучшего бойца в мире, вне зависимости от веса.
Khabib has turned down comeback offers for years now, but this might finally be the one that at least makes him consider it. Trump has even publicly called him out, saying he wants Khabib to fight the new champion. That raises more questions though. Who exactly is this so-called new champion? Would it be at lightweight or another division altogether? Right now it's still all speculation, but one thing is clear, the UFC is chasing a moment like nothing we've ever seen before. Paddy Pimblett has finally broken his silence on the Justin Gaethje matchup. In a new UFC Europe promo, Paddy said that the second he beats Justin, fans are going to switch the narrative and say that Gaethje was old or past his prime anyway. He then laid out his full roadmap for 2026. First, he plans to win the interim belt against Justin in January. After that, he wants to unify the title against Ilia Topuria by the middle of the year. Then after that, he wants Arman Tsarukyan, promising to give him the same treatment. Paddy is fully embracing the madness, calling out the entire top of the division in one go. Fans are eating up the confidence, the chaos, and the trash talk. The promo has been everywhere since it dropped, but the backlash is just as loud. Fighters like Aljamain Sterling have called the booking a complete joke and even encouraged fans to boycott the fight, arguing that Paddy hasn't earned this position. Others, though, say this is one of the most entertaining storylines the sport has seen all year. Either way, Paddy has turned the volume all the way up. Interim belt in January, Topuria in the summer, Tsarukyan after that. If he pulls all of this off, 2026 could be the biggest year of his entire life.
First ever time when we fought in January, the earliest I've ever fought. It's going to ruin me Christmas dinner and my birthday because I'm 31 like 3 weeks before it. But it's all going to be worth it when I lift that real title above my head and Paddy the Baddy is a world champion. And 2026 is going to be the biggest year of my life. I am coming for that interim title, then I'll be making it the undisputed title when I come and beat Ilia Topuria up and take the undisputed title. And then little posh boy, if he manages to fight in that time, because he likes sitting out and saying he's got a sore back, if little posh boy fights in that time and keeps his ranking, I'll punch his head in as well.
That's it from MMA Time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA updates.